Okay? Yeah.
Oh, mate, it's wafting over it.
Stinks.
It's wafting over it.
Stinks. Gav from White Dalton, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. Good.
Yeah?
Good
How's
to see
the
you
ride
again.
down here? You coming on the TL?
TL 1000R, lovely. It's not
Yeah.
raining for once, so thank God. And interesting ride. Yeah. They don't make them like they used to.
No.
I'm sore.
I won't ask. What have we got today then, Gav?
So we've got one hell of a video today. We've got everything.
Oh, wow, this is going to be good. Okay.
Yeah. You really want to stay tuned in for this one. Just some heads up, actually, for 44 teethers in and around Staffordshire or the Midlands. If you are free on the 22nd of March, 2026, I'm doing a talk in person at Staffordshire Police Headquarters. So if you want to come along, it's a free event. We'll give you tea, we'll give you coffee and biscuits.
Oh, all free?
All free. Yeah.
Come along.
Yeah, come along. Yeah. You can ride there. We're parking on police headquarters, so hopefully it's safe. No bikes are going to go missing or get nicked. And it starts at 10 a.m, so I'd aim to get there for 9:30ish.
Right.
And 22nd of March, 2026, Staffordshire Police Headquarters. If you want to see me live, I'll do a legal talk and Q&A.
No egg and flowering the police cars, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be really bad.
Yeah.
But on the topic of the police, so that's the video today.
Okay.
Should we roll it?
Let's roll it. Let's roll it.
It's right. One thing I've got to make clear from the outset: just look at the Dashcam car; it's black, and look at the car in front of it, the Dacia Duster, which is black as well. So two black vehicles. Roundabout, we know what's coming, don't we?
Oh, I don't know, do we?
A biker appears.
Oh, they actually touched.
Yeah. I mean, there's a collision between the two of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Dacia Duster should not be turning right from that
No.
position. But Dacia Duster leaves the scene after clipping the biker. This good Samaritan with a dash cam stops to help the biker and gets a punch in the face for his trouble.
Oh, that's a good punch as well, isn't it?
I mean, where do I even start with this?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, where do we even start with this? I mean, look, I'm not going to... punching someone in the face is never good. I mean, I've never done it. Wouldn't recommend it to anyone. But that level of road rage, when you've almost nearly died, potentially...
Yeah.
Because, you go back again and look at it. That wasn't just a little tap. That was enough to... It probably looked like a little tap. But when you're on the bike, and that feels like you're about to die. So
Yeah. But you hit the Good Samaritan.
Yeah.
You think the one bloke that's
Yeah.
actually
Stopped to help.
pro biker stops to help you to go, look, I've got a video of it. The Dacia Duster idiot's driven off. We've got his registration, etc. And you punch him in the face. I mean, you can imagine. So this came out in a police interview. The biker was my client. I made the video with his permission, and we went to the police interview, and the police officer, before we started anything, said, look, I'm just going to play this video for you first so you can understand what's gone on. And at that point, the penny dropped for the biker, because the biker genuinely thought the person that I'm punching is the person that tried to knock me off my bike.
Still, even after this conversation?
Even after this conversation. Yeah, so whether he's seen red mist, whether his adrenaline is pumping, whatever it was, his view, mistaken view, was that guy almost knocked me off my bike. He's pulled up behind me, and I'm going to tell him how I feel about it, with a fist, which I can't excuse it. Is there any way to look at this and go, the biker's in the right? Not really.
How do you approach that kind of case, knowing that someone is kind of in the wrong?
Well, first of all, we didn't know that before we went into the police interview. It was only when he played the video to us that we sort of all took a stop.
Right. So you hadn't seen it either.
We had no idea.
Right.
We had no idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So talking about police interviews, you don't always get this disclosure beforehand. You'll go into an interview with the police officer, and they will give you the evidence or show it to you. You know, so the first moment you get it will be there and then. Now, of course, you can stop the interview at that point and go, look, can I speak to my legal advisor? Can we have a chat about this? But when I say you could hear a mouse fart in that room when he pressed play, and the biker had realised what he'd done, and the mistaken identity between the Dacia Duster and the Dashcam driver who was just trying to help. We paused the interview, had a chat afterwards.
Was he remorseful then?
At that point, he was. Yeah,
Yeah.
because at that point, he realised he's gone, I've got the wrong guy. This
Yeah.
wasn't the guy that knocked me off. This was the
Yeah.
bloke trying to help me, you know. Are you okay? Number one, I've got it on video. You know, if you want the data, I'll give it to you so you can then bring a claim against the Dacia Duster driver for, you know, for turning right where he shouldn't
Yeah.
have. And of course, all that just fell flat on its face because then you're dealing with the police. The police weren't interested, by the way, in the driving issue about the Dacia Duster. I guess, when the police got hold of it, they were just looking at the assault. That's
Yes.
it. You know,
I suppose in it, but obviously it would have been a very different outcome if the Duster had actually made contact, and it would have been a dangerous driving or
well, potentially, or
Yeah.
careless. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
because
yeah.
should he have gone right there? No, he shouldn't. You know, he's in the wrong lane. I mean, the biker. Can you criticise the biker? My personal view is I've not got a huge amount of criticism for the biker for the riding.
No.
Okay.
No.
Because he can go straight on
Yeah.
in that road position. So yeah, I think I levy a lot more criticism to the Dacia Duster driver. The biker, he did well to just get a clip and not completely come off his
Yeah.
bike. But at that point, he really didn't cover himself in glory by accidentally or purposely smacking the wrong bloke in the face. I mean, as far as the assault goes, at that point, look, hands up, I've made a mistake. I've got the wrong bloke and I shouldn't have hit him. We were speaking off camera, you know, about red mist, about getting rage.
Yeah.
I mean, is that a good reason to hit someone in the face?
Oh, mate, I'm sorry, but I mean, it's happened to me. I haven't punched someone, but I've been, you know, that level of road rage, that level of red mist.
Yeah.
It happens. Like, it's adrenaline and every other sort of emotion goes
Yeah,
through you.
yeah.
And you're not in control.
No.
So-
And that might go.
Like I said, I'm not excusing it, but I see a kind of, I see levels of comparison.
Yeah. I mean, it might go some way to explain why it happened, but I wouldn't say necessarily that's an automatic defence to what's gone on here. And if you look at the time delay as well between it happening, the car driver stopping, trying to help you, have you got time to reset, you know, or burn off some of that energy? Perhaps, it's difficult for me to judge. When it comes to an assault, by the way, I was talking off camera about, you know, when is it reasonable? And you're talking about use of force. You don't have to wait to be punched in the face to punch someone back. You can make something called a preemptive strike. That's perfectly legal, which is I felt threatened. I thought someone was going to hit me, so I put one on them. But when the threat stops, you stop. You don't keep hitting someone. You know, and whether that's bound, you know, is part of this case. But I mean, what happens after the event when the biker realises I've made a really bad error here? He just throws himself at the mercy of the court, which is I'm remorseful. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have hit him. I did, and I'm sorry. Perhaps a red mist goes some way to explain what I did, but you know, I did hit an innocent member of the public.
I mean, you could argue that he thought that the car stopped to have a go at him. I mean, I'm not, you know, did he mention anything? Did he mention anything about why he thought the guy had stopped? Because I mean,
you can't get away from the fact, which is the guy is a good Samaritan. He's there to help.
yes,
I mean, the biker may have interpreted it as he's not only trying to knock me off, now he's going to square up to me for damaging his car or something similar, and I thought he was going to hit me. That might be part of his rationale. But the facts of the case are that wasn't the person involved. That person had no malice towards you. In fact, the complete opposite. They were there trying to help you. And what did you do? You landed one on them, you know, and it's not good. We've stopped the audio because, you know, the chap had his family in the car. Yeah. And if you think your family don't need to see that, it's not good at any time of the day, not least, you know, when your family's in the car and your partner's in the car. The chap, by the way, the driver, the Dashcam driver, all his family are bikers, you know. So from his perspective, that was one of the reasons he stopped.
he was doing the right thing.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I've almost watched this biker get completely wiped out. Let me stop and help and see if he's okay. And really didn't deserve what happened to him afterwards.
So can we talk about what happened afterwards?
Yeah.
We had to talk about the...
Yeah, I mean, I won't talk about the sentencing.
Specifics,
But yeah, I mean, at that point, what do you do with a case like that? Well, the evidence is overwhelming. In fact, if I go back a step, the biker actually left the scene, you know, rightly or wrongly left the scene. When the police get hold of the video evidence, they're not there at the scene. They didn't stop him. So what do? They write out to the registered keeper of the motorcycle to say, can you please tell us who the rider was at this time? Now, the registered keeper, I've said before, there is no presumption in law that the registered keeper is the rider or driver. Okay, so that's why you get a notice through the post. The biker was really honest. You know, he honestly said, look, that was me riding at the time. So the police at that point said, right, we know who you are now. Thank you very much for confirming. Can you please come in and have an interview with us?
So he wasn't actually arrested. He came in.
He turned up voluntarily. Yeah. I mean, if you then decide not to turn up voluntarily, could they arrest you? Yeah, of course they can. Because the police have to go through their checks and go, we've invited you in, you've declined to come in, we can't force you, but what we can do is come and arrest you, okay? And that arrest all of a sudden becomes necessary because they need to interview you about this offence, get your version. And if you're not going to come in and talk about it voluntarily, fine, we'll come and arrest you. It's much better to do it on a voluntary basis because, of course, then you can control the time, the date that you come in, you know, with your solicitor. If you just go, no, 2 fingers up, come and find me, well, do you want to knock on the door at 2 o'clock in the morning? Probably not, you know, so you're avoiding that. And that's good. If the rider had actually not bothered responding to the notice to say the rider at the time was Mr. X, then arguably the police have got no idea. They've got no idea, you know, who that was. That could have been you riding, could have been me riding, you know, could have been the registered keeper. And in fact, they would have probably gone after him for failing to identify, which carries with it 6 points and up to £1,000 fine. So the assault just falls away. We don't know who committed the assault. We're really sorry, but the registered keeper should have told us who the rider was. They failed to do so, so we're going to stick them on for 6 points. And he would get 6 points, you know, for failing to ID.
Well, I mean, ultimately, you know, again, we talked about this off camera a few times, but you know, this is where, and ultimately, a dash cam has come in handy for almost every party, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the Dacia Duster driver, nothing happened with that case, you know, which was disappointing. But also, thankfully, the biker's not knocked off.
No, it would have been a different case if he had been knocked off.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I don't think we'd have seen the assault, you know, because he'd have been on the floor, and the Dacia Duster hopefully would have stopped. What have we got? We've got vehicle damage, but it's just soft luggage, which you can then repair or, you know, or sort out and carry on your trip. It would have been nice to see the Dacia Duster driver. What's his obligation? Well, if he can't stop, he could have gone round the roundabout and come and joined him and said, you know, we've had a coming together, let's exchange details. He just drove off, you know.
Was it a he, though?
He or she?
Yeah,
no, he or she just drove off.
I think they were scared and drove off. Yeah, that's my assessment.
Yeah, or they're just Dacia drivers.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't know what was going on. Should they have felt the full force of the law?
Cue the comments, Gav.
What, Dacia Sandero? Do you remember that on Top Gear? The Dacia Sandero. But should they have had the full force of the law? Arguably, yes, which is you failed to stop, you failed to report. We've got your registration number because it's on the, you know, it's on the video, and the police will write to you, and the same thing will happen, which is, you know, were you careless in your driving? My view is they were, because they turned right where they shouldn't have and clipped a biker. And did you stop and give you details? We don't know if they went to a police station later on and exchanged information there, which is, I was involved in an accident, here's my details. So they're ticking the box for at least providing details. There's still the issue about careless driving. But that wasn't dealt with. It was all overshadowed by the assault issue.
Well, lesson learned. Make sure you get the right person before you punch them.
Or just don't punch someone in the face.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Punch,
yeah. Don't punch people. Thanks, Gav.
Thanks. I'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.